It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Sunday, the 7th of September. I'm Michael Groff. When you step outside this morning, it feels like a great big wet, heavy blanket. It is absolutely tropical and soupy out there. And I know you're going to say, Mike, I thought you said drier air was coming into the region. Well, it already has. It's just that it hasn't quite worked its way down to the surface yet. And it will over the next 24 to 36 hours. And yes, temperatures will be warming up, but with the drier air, overnight lows are going to feel downright refreshing, especially through much of this upcoming week. The latter half of the week should see overnight lows dropping into the 60s in many valley locations, which we haven't seen in a good long time around here. So the next logical question is the monsoon season done for the year 2025? We talked a little bit about this yesterday. We have some more information as to what the future may hold. So we'll talk about that and so much more as we dive on in just a moment. Hey everyone, it's Michael Groff here to talk to you about your roof. With all the extreme weather we have in Arizona, you need a name you can trust, and that's why you should call Blackstone Roofing Group for all of your roofing needs. Call for your free inspection today. Big or small, they do it all. Tile, shingle, or flat roofing, they can help. Offering free inspections and more. Roofing made easy. Call 602-536-9363 or visit blackstoneroofinggroup.com to schedule your free inspection today. And if you tell them Michael Groff sent you, they'll take $500 off the price of your roof replacement. Again, that's 602-536-9363 or blackstoneroofinggroup.com. All right, let's get into it here. Taking a look at the almanac from yesterday, 100 degrees was the afternoon high, 84 was the morning low, 103 and 81 are the averages for this time of year. Taking a look outside right now at 9:45 a.m., mostly sunny sky out there, but yeah, 90 degrees at Sky Harbor. That's half the story. Look at that dew point up at 70. It feels like Biloxi, Mississippi, or some place right along the Gulf Coast out there. Relative humidity, 52%. The winds are light, and the barometer is rising. Let's check out current dew points across the region here. I just want to show you this. Yeah, dew points in the upper 60s to about 70 here in south central Arizona. How about mid and upper 70s out in southwest Arizona and southeast California? It is absolutely insanely humid out there. More so, dew point right now in Imperial is higher than it is in Miami or Jacksonville, Florida. That dew point at 77. That is just, you can cut it with a knife outside. But again, I remind you, these numbers are going to be crashing down over the next 24 to 48 hours. We're going to see dew points over Southern California dropping into the 30s and 40s by Monday night, Tuesday morning. And even here in the south central deserts, dew points will be in the 40s and 50s. It'll feel much, much better. Satellite across the country right now, across much of North America. We don't have our normal satellite view. Some technical issues there, but you can still see. Look at that. Drier air has worked its way into much of the southwest. Thunderstorm activity will be very, very minimal today. Although we could still see some very low-topped, brief little pop-up showers and storms. We're going to talk about that. But troughing will become the dominant feature out here across the western states in the next several days. And we'll still have high pressure just to the south of us, and that's what's going to cause us to warm up and dry out a bit over the next couple of days. But that will be replaced by a rather impressive trough as we go through time. Here's the watch warning map. We've got air quality alerts aplenty over much of the northwest from central and eastern Washington through northern Idaho, parts of Wyoming. And that is because of all the wildfires that we still have ongoing out here in the west. It's been brutally dry, especially up in parts of the northwest. And we've had a pretty extensive wildfire season there. A hurricane warning for the waters around Hawaii. And while we don't expect a hurricane to make direct impact on Hawaii, as the weakening Hurricane Kiko passes on by, very rough waters, and of course, hurricane force winds will be present well north of the island chain. All right, here's the convective outlook for today. A marginal risk of severe storms, level 1 out of 5 for parts of New Mexico, Colorado, the Texas and Oklahoma panhandles, western Kansas. Now, here in Arizona, the SPC has kind of mysteriously colored a good portion of the state in the green, indicating thunderstorms are possible. But I'll tell you this, even though in theory thunderstorms could pop up anywhere in that green section, I would really, really be surprised if we saw very many across the entire state today. Yes, over the higher terrain of northern and eastern Arizona, we might catch a few showers and storms, the southeastern portion of the state, but elsewhere, one or two maybe. But that's going to be about it. And it is going to be drying out very, very quickly here, again, during the next 24 to 36 hours or so. The tropics and the Atlantic Basin, remember that wave that came off the African coast and we were watching that thing progress and it had a pretty good chance of development? Then the chances kept going down. Well, that system is off the board now. It is gone. It's barely even a shred of anything, hardly even a discernible circulation now. And the reason for that is a fairly significant amount of Saharan desert dust that has overspread much of the Atlantic Basin. We don't normally see that during this time of the year. So very dry air, all that dust, that is not favorable for tropical cyclone development. So as a result, the Atlantic Basin will remain very quiet, which is odd, especially given that we are almost right to the day at the peak, the climatological peak of hurricane season in the Atlantic. It has been remarkably quiet. In the Pacific, we have a wave that's out here off the Mexican coast. We're not going to worry about that. That's going to move west harmlessly. We have Kiko, that's still a Category 3 hurricane that's out there moving to the northwest now, and it should pass to the north of the Hawaiian Island chain. Yes, it will bring some high surf, some rip currents, and all of that, but the main impacts should, for the most part, stay to the north of the Hawaiian Island chain. Of course, we'll keep an eye on this feature as it progresses, but the waters around the Hawaiian Islands are, of course, cooler, so as it approaches, this will be weakening to a tropical storm, but it should pass north of the Big Island Monday night and Tuesday and continue passing north of the Hawaiian Island chain through the middle part of this upcoming week. Closer to home, the precipitation outlook valid through next Sunday morning. Rain amounts in Phoenix, probably nothing. Statewide, not much anywhere. The monsoon is gone soon. I mean, this is it. Looks like it is the end of the season. Why do we say that? Well, let's take a look at the models, see what the future may hold. We'll check out the overall broad scale, the synoptic weather pattern, get into all of it right now. Here we go. This is the GFS. It is the 06Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars. That's about 18,000 feet off the ground. Big low over eastern Canada. That cool fall air being pumped in across the northern plains and the Great Lakes and the Northeast feels great. We've got a trough. Area of low pressure off the Pacific Northwest coast. That will become kind of the dominant feature for us over the next several days. But for right now, we have an area of high pressure that's sitting to the south of us, a 594 ridge well to the south. The prevailing flow aloft is westerly. And whenever we start to see that this time of the year, that's not a good sign for getting monsoon moisture into the valley or seeing any monsoon moisture anytime soon. What it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, yeah, it's going to be absolutely steamy out there. Sunny, very humid, high temperatures, upper 90s to about 102, but the humidity levels are going to start to come down as we go later into the day and into tonight. Now, a few showers and thunderstorms could very well pop up in this kind of atmosphere throughout the day today, but there's drier air not far above the surface, maybe up at about 10,000 feet, 8,000 feet and above. And so any convection that pops up would be extremely short-lived. It'd be low-topped. But given the heat of the day, given all the copious amounts of surface-level moisture, a few showers and storms will no doubt pop up, especially over the favored higher terrain areas. And they could still produce some brief gusty winds and locally heavy rain and lightning and all that. Now let's look at this. This is the HRRR. This is this afternoon at 2 o'clock. And, it shows a couple little pop-up storms around the valley. Now, the radar may not look exactly like this, and the placement of those storms may not be exactly right there. But again, a brief pop-up shower or storm could occur. The chance is not mathematically zero, but we have not put it in the forecast for today because it is such a low-end threat that most of you, nearly all of you, probably don't see a thing. Again, unless you're maybe north or east of the valley, but even there, the chance of a storm is extremely low given the drying atmosphere that we have in place today. All right, for tonight, yes, we'll see a few clouds in the evening. Otherwise, we become clear. Overnight lows will be in the upper 70s to mid 80s. And then tomorrow, yes, the humidity levels are going to be coming down. That deep westerly flow is in place. You see that trough is off the west coast, high pressure to the south of us. The heights are up, though, so high temperatures around 100 to 104 tomorrow afternoon. That's not ridiculously far from average, but that'll feel a little bit better given the fact that humidity levels will be trending down. Again, dew points to the west of us over California are mostly going to be in the 30s and 40s by later tomorrow afternoon and as we get toward Tuesday. They'll be dropping through the 50s, 40s, and 50s here tomorrow, so it'll feel a bit better. Here's Tuesday, and again, drier air comes in. Overnight lows will start the day out in the 70s to low 80s in most spots. High temperatures 100 to 104. Now on Wednesday, okay, the trough is to the west of us. It's deepening a bit, though. The center of that area of low pressure over central and northern California. The base of the trough is in southern California, and this system may advect some moisture, some shallow moisture into the eastern third of Arizona. So as a result, we might see a few showers and thunderstorms late. This is actually Wednesday night that you're looking at here, 11 p.m. Wednesday. A few showers and storms in the eastern third of the state. I guess, theoretically, we might get a storm pretty close to the valley, the East Valley, something like that. We cannot completely rule that out on Wednesday night, early Thursday morning. That's a possibility. But other than that, all we're going to see out of this approaching system is some breezy conditions and temperatures lowering. Wednesday's highs will be 99 to 103. Thursday will wake up to lows in the upper 60s to mid and upper 70s across the valley and high temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. A few showers and storms maybe in far eastern Arizona, but other than that, we are dry and it's going to feel a little bit, just a hint, more fall-like out there. Friday morning, again, we start the day out in the mid 60s in the cool spots, low to mid 70s in the urban core, high temperatures mid to upper 90s. Here's Saturday. Temperatures might warm up ever so slightly back toward 100 degrees, but it is still mid-September, so that's not out of bounds at all. But still, the overnight lows will be pleasant, 60s to mid-70s. Great. A week from today, this is Sunday the 14th. Another trough is coming into the Pacific Northwest. We got the old wave train going. The westerlies are sagging further south. And whenever we see this, that's a sign that the monsoon season, the monsoon pattern is over with, or even if it tries to come back, would not last very long because as the westerlies come further south, these areas of low pressure, these short waves or these broader troughs displace our subtropical ridge further to the south, and it doesn't get the opportunity to get established. We can't get any moisture in here, and this is a very typical setup for mid-September. So that's why we just don't anticipate any monsoon returns, any surprise monsoon activity. Again, any moisture that gets pulled northward at this point across the area would be a function of a mid-latitude cyclonic system that would pull the moisture up here, which is not a monsoonal pattern. So that's kind of what we're going to be looking at going forward. It sure looks like the monsoon is done with. That said, it's technically the season still runs through the end of the month, but I just don't see anything happening anytime soon. So in this setup, temperatures would be pretty close to seasonal averages, upper 90s to about 102, the sky sunny, the air dry. This is Monday the 15th, same setup. Got an area of low pressure in the northern Great Basin, westerly to southwesterly flow here. We're dry. We are seasonal with overnight lows very pleasant, afternoon highs, I'd say anywhere from 96 to 102. Same story going out 10 days. This is Tuesday the 16th. We are dry. We are pleasant. Again, relative for this time of year. Lows in the 60s to mid-70s, highs upper 90s to about 102 degrees. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix off the GFS ensemble. This goes out through the 21st of the month. And the ensemble mean is barely above 1/10 of an inch. It's about 2/10 of an inch on the European ensemble, and there's quite a few model members that show nothing. Now, the European AI ensemble is clearly an outlier. Most of the members indicate precipitation. The ensemble mean is way up over 3/4 of an inch, and you got some individual members that are up over 2 inches with a heavy bias towards some big rain amounts out there beyond 10 days. Again, a clear outlier. As much as I praise the European AI ensemble and the European AI model in general, there's times it gives us stuff like this. Could this happen? Yes, of course it could. Anything is possible, especially here in the month of September. All it takes is a tropical system to get entrenched in this deep southwesterly flow that may develop, and well, boom, you could get these kinds of results. But for the most part, I just don't see that happening, and that's why the Euro AI is still considered an experimental model. All right, looking at temperatures off the national blend of models. This isn't bad. Look, after 2023 and 2024 and even 2020, the months of September we had there, which were among the hottest, if not the hottest on record, depending on the year, this is not bad. This is more what we should be seeing this time of year. Highs, yeah, they're going to warm up a little bit today, tomorrow, and Tuesday, and then retreat back to maybe under 100 degrees Thursday, Friday, and staying right around 100 degrees overnight lows. This is at Sky Harbor, mid-70s, upper 70s. Most spots will be in the mid-60s to low 70s. It's going to feel a lot nicer. I am ready to say it. We're done with 90-degree low temperatures. We are done with 110-degree high temperatures. Now we're just waiting to be done with the 80-degree lows and the 100-degree highs. Sadly, and actually, I think our 80-degree lows are very, very limited. We might have a couple more before it's all said and done, but not many. And 100-degree high temperatures, yeah, well, we're probably going to see those through at least late September and into early October. We're not going to be done with those for a while. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you're really enjoying what we do here and you want to support the channel, click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make a contribution to us that way, just like Clayton did yesterday. Thank you, sir. Our PayPal is groffshow@gmail.com. That's our PayPal address. It's GROFF show@gmail.com for PayPal. And our Venmo. That's also linked up down in the description. So that's how you help us out. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, Adriana related, and yes, now new and improved Kylie related. That's a tongue twister. It's all down there in the description, so check it out. Our streaming station available 24/7, 365 called KMGX. That's linked up down below as well. Also linked up below is Dan over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel, The Courtroom Files on YouTube, or courtroomfiles.com for your Courtroom Files merch. He helps us out. You help him out. It's a symbiotic relationship. Everybody helps everybody. We all sing Kumbaya. But you know what? I mean it. It's not an ironic thing. We really do love Dan and the Courtroom Files YouTube channel. So that means you should as well. It's required. Damn it. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, all of your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. Please be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there, especially on a day like today. My goodness. And you guys have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Sunday.